Hi there, beautiful souls. Thank you for watching and welcome. I'm Gabrielle, retired medium in Germany, and I like to share some of my otherworldly experiences and insights. So, this one is about self sabotage. Maybe we all know a little bit about that because we're all programmed in our society by authorities, by what we heard as a child. And many people have some kind of false beliefs underlying their life, and sometimes they feel stuck or they can't get around or they think they're not making progress. And in the end, it's fear of maybe really being in your full divine power and doing what you always wanted. So who knows? Okay, let's dive into it. I have a brilliant example. I had this one client in QHHT therapy and hypnosis, and she was a very sweet and kind woman. She had just become the director of a forest kindergarten, so she was kind of a bit anxious about the new position and the expectations. And she herself had very high kind of expectations about herself to do everything good, even the alternative way, and treat the children well and the best way possible, and the other co-workers and also the parents of the children and so on. And she had at home a rebelling child, a daughter in puberty, and a depressive, kind of suicidal husband. So there was a lot she had to deal with in her life. And she was also a bit psychic, and for a while she also participated in my mediumship circle, the development group. And I think she had high expectations about the hypnosis. So when I brought her under and her higher self or subconscious was showing her scenes of another life, I asked her to orientate her and what she could perceive, what's around her, how she feels, whether she can see her body or perceive her body. And I wanted her to look down at her feet. That's kind of the usual procedure to integrate the person into the scene and the person or people she's shown as in that scenes of other lives. And she kind of freaked out and was a bit anxiously asking me, "Well, I don't have no legs. I can't feel any legs." And I said to her, "Well, doesn't matter. Maybe you don't even have a body. So let's dive into that and tell me and describe everything you can perceive about yourself." And she said, "Well, it's all kind of a milky white light around me. It's warm and it's kind of a smooth environment. And there's this dim milky white light coming from outside. And I only feel my back, and I'm quite long. And it seems as if I have many little feet. So, what is that?" And when she described it, I was able to see it with my inner eye, and I saw that she was a kind of worm, a caterpillar. And when she was able to deal with that a little bit, I sent her to some special moments in that life as a caterpillar. You know, you have some potato digging lives that are just normal, and if you send the people to their special moments where something important happens in their life, then they have two or three things that occur and that are very important for the life. they get shown. And she was not content with being a caterpillar. I could get that quite easily. And well, in the end, when I got her back from the hypnosis, the first thing she said was, "Oh, that was so clear that I was only a worm." Okay, by that, you can really deny the whole experience and kind of destroy everything that was in that experience. So that's why we need a little talk after the hypnosis. And I never let people go with something obviously wrong like that, you know. So I started talking to her and I reminded her of the wonderful metamorphosis that the caterpillar is able to do. You know, it's just a worm eating and eating and eating, and then suddenly it retracts itself and goes into a cocoon, not knowing what will happen, and comes out as a wonderful butterfly. And she was one of these special little butterflies that lived in an apple. That's why there was all milky white light around her. She was inside the apple, so it was the paradise, the highest evolution stage of a caterpillar, you know, having no enemies who want to eat her, being inside the apple, being warm and safe, and having to eat as much as she wanted. And even in the future, you know, coming up this transmutation into a caterpillar. Well, it took some time to get her to that, and I told her as well, you know, like Bashar also said, you can't have a feeling, even a feeling of being not worthy, not good enough, or being low, thinking low about yourself. You can't have a feeling like that without an underlying belief. So, the underlying belief in this case is some kind of program many of us have. It's the program, I am not worthy. I'm not good enough. Everybody else is better than me. So you have very high expectations towards yourself, and you have very low acknowledgement of your own abilities. So there's a discrepancy. And what they say in music about the flow state, when everything is just wonderful and flowing and you're in the energy and it's effortless, that's exactly when your abilities match your expectations. So there is no discrepancy. And I always try to tell the people, don't have these high expectations. You know, you can only have expectations in comparison with someone or something else. And we like to pick the high ones, you know, the idols, the authorities. And of course, we are less than them because they maybe practice what I like to practice since 30 years. So, of course, they are a bit more advanced. And it's better to be kind of realistic and have no or little expectations. Also, like Bashar said in his formula, do what you love, what makes you happy, with no expectation whatsoever about the outcome. And yeah, just follow your passion, you know. So it was quite hard, and but she came back for a second hypnosis, and then suddenly maybe we broke that barrier that she had about herself, that she wasn't good enough and had only the life of a worm, which to me was, you know, a wonderful remedy for this highly stressed out woman with the difficult private life, a suicidal, depressive husband, a revolting, rebellious child in puberty. And, at the workplace, also a lot of expectations and pressure, and she was doing pressure on herself as well. So, she took some time to acknowledge that this was really kind of everything fine, no worry, no danger, a perfect life, kind of paradise for the caterpillar. And I wanted her to get the feeling because I understood that's why her higher self showed her this life as a caterpillar. There was no stress. And in this life, she was so stressed out. So she could really need that feeling and make a reconnection with that. Just simply being happy, having to eat, having kind of a roof over your head because she was inside the apple. What a wonderful house for a caterpillar. And when she came back for a second hypnosis, she was shown a very different scene. She was in the life of a mermaid, and she was diving with her clan through the waves, and it was really gorgeous and wonderful, and she was happy and had some very profound insights. So I want to leave you with that. Never give up. Keep your expectations low and don't think low about yourself. The answer in the end to this I am not worthy, I'm not good enough program is you are the only one who is worthy of it, because it's appearing in front of your nose and not appearing in front of the nose of someone else. So you are meant. It's for you. And we all always forget about the inner self, the divine, the soul. We are part of that. We are a fractal of the divine source. So in the fractal, there's the whole program, the whole blueprint of source as well. And we have all these abilities, only that we are taught wrongly, that we can't perceive something psychically. Only the talented and gifted ones are not special. I have the same kind of abilities like everyone. Only I started training with that 13 years ago when I started my mediumship trainment. And it's really like a muscle. You got to train it. In the beginning, it may be not that flexible, but with some training, like learning how to ride a bicycle, you can learn to handle your psychic abilities much better. So we all have the same abilities, that's innate. And because we're all getting more psychic now, because of the sun's activity, which is sending a lot of theta and delta waves. Delta is deep sleep and theta is hypnosis, or the point before you fall asleep and after you woke up, which is normally very short. And just in hypnosis, we prolong this state by talking to the client, to his subconscious or higher self during the hypnosis session. And with these waves that are coming from the sun and having rays of theta and delta, all our psychic senses in our DNA are triggered, and people are seeing more things. And many think they are getting crazy because they are seeing things or perceiving or hearing things others don't hear. No, you're not going crazy, you're going more psychic, and we all will go more psychic because the higher dimensions, the higher energy is triggering all these abilities and senses. So it's kind of a natural thing to grow more spiritual and more psychic. And I want to leave you with that. So please stop thinking about you that you are not good enough or not worthy. I had the same program, and look what I'm doing now. Although sometimes I'm screaming and kicking and I don't want to, but I'm doing it nevertheless because they told me, share your experiences, not to convince others or to get into discussions, just to give a bold statement that many of the beings we are told that they are fairy tale beings like giants or mermaids or whatever, or angels. No, they are all real. And even gnomes and fairies are real. So I met them all, and I'm nothing special. All of you can have contact with all the different realms just step by step. I mean, I'm doing this since 13 years, so I should know at least a little bit now because of that experiences. And I just want to share it with you and give you an idea that there is much more to see and to perceive. And as they told me, my guides, the Elohim, they said it's more or less like that, that every species you can see in nature has in their DNA the template for a humanoid evolvement or development. So there are the aquatic beings, then there are the insectoids, the reptiloids or reptilians, and then the humanoids. And I thought that were very, very interesting because okay, I heard of angels, I met the fairies, and I then met the angels and met different beings. But it took some time to really understand that every being or species on this earth has the template to become a bipedal kind of humanoid form. And I also met in Inner Earth the Ant people that are kind of bipedal and still have this little bit of insectoid look, but they were kind of very highly spiritually evolved, and I found them friendly and positive. So you can't generalize it. Not every species like that is bad or is good, you know. You really have to use your discernment and sense into them if you encounter them, into their energy, because then you get an idea about who is who and what's their kind of agenda. Okay, so I'll leave you with that. Thank you very much for watching. Bye, dear souls. Have a blessed time, love, and light.